Welcome back to Inside the Audition. In today's episode, you're going to get the answer to what is the one piece of marketing material that could open doors to a whole new world of work for you, but most actors don't have. Stay tuned. Welcome to Inside the Audition. I am your host, Joey Freddy Larson. You can connect with me on Instagram at Joey Freddy Larson. You can ask questions. You can shoot me DMs to suggest topics for future episodes. Or if you're an actor, producer, director, casting director, film and theater industry professional, you can suggest yourself to be a guest on a future episode. So again, hit me up at Joey Freddy Larson. And remember that Inside the Audition is sponsored by Actors Audition Club, where we help actors shoot standout auditions in less time, both in our Toronto studio and virtually anywhere in the world. You can connect with one of our audition coaches. They will help you shoot that audition. They'll be your reader, they'll be your coach, they'll be your director, then they'll edit it and transfer the files to you and your agent. So all you got to do is show up, have fun, and be your best acting self. So you can go to actorsauditionclub.com to book one of those sessions. And we have a special guest today. I teased it. You're going to learn today what is one of the biggest marketing tools that will help you create more money as an actor, specifically as a voice actor. We're going to talk about professional voiceover demo reels. And the perfect person here to show you how to do that is our guest. She is an actor. She's a voice actor. She's a coach. She's also a session director with Actors Audition Club right here. She has helped countless actors bring their voice to life and bring their voice work to life. Today, she is here to share some wisdom with you and with us. So welcome, Moneen Daley.
Thank you very much, JFL. Has that like old school holiday or Hollywood ring, doesn't it? JFL. And there you are
JFL,
in front of the Hollywood sign.
right?
Initials only.
Yes, on the
Are you
top of Mount
A-OK, JFL?
Mount Hollywood. Yeah, and this is how I like it at the top, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
There we
Whoa!
go.
Ah.
And if you're not watching the video version of this, you don't know what we're talking about. But in my studio here, I have a massive Hollywood sign that I actually took from the top of the Hollywood sign above it. Everyone always gets the pictures when you're down below and you see the word Hollywood in the mountains. But I hiked one day, I hiked to the very top, and I like the picture being above it all on the road less traveled. So in my studio here, every day I get to look out over the hills of Hollywood and say hello to my celebrity friends.
It's exactly
Hello.
where you should be.
There's
Yes.
who lives down there? I think Leonardo DiCaprio's house is right there. Uh, but
Look for the
welcome.
line of bikinis.
Welcome, welcome. Let's get into a little bit. First of all, we did another episode with you. So if you search the name Moneen Daley, I don't know the episode number, but we'll link it up in the show notes later. We've talked. We went to conservatory together. You're also an audition coach with us, where you help our actors shoot auditions virtually. But today we want to focus a little bit on voiceover. So I would love for you to share quick, like kind of Cole's notes on how you got into voice work, what you love about it, a little bit about how you help people.
Well, thank you for having me back. And yes, I think we can all use some good news. I think that there's something for creatives, for actors, for your viewers and listeners to be excited about, to be happy about. So, the transition for me into voiceover was from radio, and it was just doing it on the side. I had a managerial position in radio as well as an on-air position and, some benefits, so it was, pretty okay, but then I started to notice the voice work I was doing on the side was starting to rival even my salary, and I thought, the one thing I've planned in my life, I wanted to have kids, I wanted to raise them myself, so working from home seemed like a good idea. So I began in radio in 1988, and I started my business, I just had an anniversary, September 9th, 1999. And, yeah, like ups and downs and peaks and valleys because I've always been a little bit of a renaissance player having to do some other things along with voiceover, but voiceover has been my baby. It's allowed me to breastfeed and work from home. It's allowed me to take care of an elderly mom. It's allowed me now in this stage of my life to have a new nest and be able to work exactly how I like on an island on the coast of Maine, but it's okay because I can get to Boston, I can get to Chicago, I can get to LA, I can get to Miami, I can get anywhere my voice needs to be because the equipment has made it such and technology has made it such. And since COVID, the playing field has been so evened out. Of course, it's wonderful to have representation. It's wonderful to get opportunities maybe before other people don't, but you can be competitive wherever you may be. I think that's the good news, and I think that also kind of calms a lot of actors down that I've worked with, where they know they can ease back on the hustle because maybe they've got a regular gig that's giving them recording to do once a month or quarterly or weekly or whatever the dealio is, and that's something, okay, mortgage is taken care of, car payment is taken care of, and they can focus on training and working and auditioning. Let's see, was
Beautiful.
that too tangential?
No, that was fantastic. Can you share a little bit more about the location? I know that a lot of the work you do with actors is virtual, and we live in a virtual world, so that's beautiful. You can be anywhere in the world and work with Moneen. However, you got a special place there, so share some of that and share some of the vision for that place because I know it's a new location for you.
Yeah, thank you. It's just been about a year, and even though I've been in New England my whole entire life and spent most of my years in Boston, this is maybe an hour and change, an hour and 15 minutes north of Boston. It's Kittery Point, Maine, and
Say the name again.
hmm?
Say the name of it. What point?
Kittery Point.
Kittery. Kittery Point.
And if you're here, you'd say Kittery Point.
Kittery
Yeah.
Point.
Yeah, Maine is vacation land, that's what our license plates say, that and the way life should be. It's a really beautiful, pristine place right on the coast, Garish Island, and so I am surrounded by water. My housemate, who put an awful lot of thought into this, and ironically is a voice talent that I worked with in the late '80s, and, she's semi-retired now, but traveling a lot, and so it's a great setup. We have a meditation garden, a butterfly garden, and when I do have people on site, we have a private beach that we can walk to with the salt air, do warm-ups, and just write copy, think about things out of doors with, unlimited space, and then when you come into the studio, I mean, you can see my green screen and a teleprompter in the background. I didn't do anything, special. I'm sorry I didn't clean up. This is the video side. The other side of where I'm speaking is my ISO booth where my Neumann, U87 microphone is, and so when people kind of seamlessly come in from the outdoors, they bring that vibe with them. It's very relaxed. I've had people just in the past 3 weeks, the range of talent that have been here in person from age 13 to 74. And and if you can calm down a very active, improvising 13-year-old young man, that's a vibe. Yeah, everyone appreciates it. You'll have to come
I
sometime.
love that. I would love to, and I know that you're planning some in-person events, like little like voice retreat slash workshop things that can come in the future. And yeah, we would love to be a part of that. So
Cool, cool, yeah.
yeah, you're doing like you got like your own little like voiceover, eat, pray, love situation going on there. And
It's
is it?
something that I always wanted, and interestingly enough, I was willing to sort of compromise in where this was gonna happen. It's just what I want a studio to be for me. I don't want it to be paying attention to the sales side, the business side. We got enough of that. What if there was a talent-centric studio where you could do a little Kristen Linklater, a little Alexander Technique? You could maybe catch yourself in some sort of habits that you're developing before they, get ingrained in. That happens a lot with podcasters. I've worked with some people just to stop bad habits before they develop. And I always wanted this for myself, and I always wanted it for other talent, and I never had the environment. And it's a whole 'nother story, but how this all came about, it was serendipitous. So I really honor it. And you most recently in a great one-on-one session we had, I really appreciate this
Yeah,
because
let's talk about that. I would love to share that because that was what Moneen's referring to is inside. Moneen's also a member of the Monologue of the Month Club. Every week we do either monologue jams or rehearsal jams, and I've also been working with a lot of actors and people who are not actors on some other coaching methodologies to help them get through blocks, get through limiting beliefs. Because what I've been finding, I've been an actor since 2009. I've been coaching other actors here at Actors Audition Club since 2017, running over 6,000 one-on-one audition sessions. And one of the things that I've noticed is it's not always the actor who is like the best actor or the master of the craft that gets the roles or has the best career. Certainly craft first, craft centric. This is a craft. You need to learn how to do it. You need to become a master of your craft. However, there are plenty of people who have reached the level of mastery, but in their head, we have all these limiting beliefs. We have all these old stories, old way of doing things, maybe what you might call some bad habits that we're even unaware of. Blind spots is how I would put them, and it takes an outside coach often to have a conversation and flush out some of the things we're saying and some of those beliefs, and then like pull on them like a thread in a sweater until the whole thread and
I'm naked.
the sweater unravels, and then you realize what's going on. So we did a couple things. We did a meditation slash visualization where the idea is to meet your future lead role self, and then we also did an exercise called triangulating your outcomes or triangulating the transformation. So let's share some of that. And the reason I would love to share for it is A, I know it's really helped you, and B, I would love to do this more with actors as well, so we can share some of those breakthroughs for you, because we talked and we ran through these exercises for maybe an hour, and I know it was something that was very transformational for you. So let's share.
It was. So just casually before we even got into the meditation part, you had suggested doing a time audit and an expense audit. I knew expenses because I was, how many video editing, programs did I have at different phases for different things, like just settle on one. And time this is sort of interesting because I found I really only work about 17. You see how I'm saying it quiet like nobody can hear? You see how I'm whispering it?
Yeah, yeah, like
I'm
someone's
kind
gonna
of
catch you.
ashamed.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
switching it up, but I really only work about 17 to 19 hours a week. And, I'm an old broad, so it's okay. I don't have to like put on the hustle or whatever. But the idea is make your time efficient, use it efficiently. And so that those two exercises were really helpful. And also, I'm not spending what I think I am. Like, you build things up in your mind like it's a big tragedy, but look at the numbers. And even someone who's like a bit overly emotional, okay, and a bit overly reactive, I can't argue with those numbers, so that gave me a lot of confidence. Like, "Hey, use this smartly, use this well. Now the numbers are you can do the accordion, you can expand or contract however you need to go." But the triangle, the thought process, and you did it really, really well and really patiently, was to see how my limiting beliefs were keeping me from what I think is right in front of me, right in front of my nose. And a phrase that I told you has been playing in my head was I was talking about have to and must because there were all of these things that needed to occur in order for me to fully realize that down the road version where I have all the things that I want. And I was using, like, really forceful, like, punishing language, and you nailed me on every single one of them. And then you just finally said, it's like, Irish Catholic, uh, and, you finally said, "Can't you just be enjoying life and doing what you love on your little island there?" And it was just the way that you said it was super casual, but it was also like, I'm saying the words you must hear, and we just get performers get so in their heads about everything. That's the number one thing that we see when people are performing and maybe we're directing them. "Oh, I got in my head." Well,
Get out of there.
our
That's the worst place to be.
right. Get in your breath, get in your body,
Yeah, yeah, get into your breath, get into your heart, get into your body. Yeah,
Right, right, because you can't say don't do something, you have to get into something. So, that meditation and exercise help left, right brain be like, "Oh, let's speak the same language, man, let's get it together." That
I
was
love that.
simplified explanation, but it was super powerful, and if anybody's confused on where they're standing and, "Oh, why am I self-sabotaging?" or "Why do I get stuck?" Hook up,
Yeah,
because you won't let anybody off the hook because you have to know and go through these things in order to catch somebody
right.
in their own little web.
Yeah, and I'm really fortunate. I've had some brilliant coaches and teachers and trainers who have used these frameworks and methodologies and experiences to help me transform my life and my beliefs and so I love sharing those with other people and one of them we've shared and talked lots about James Wedmore through his programs Business by Design and that time audit really how that came up is time is our most valuable asset. We've all heard this, but we don't always treat it like that. And we're often chasing discounts and how to save some money, or I'll just do this myself. And then we chase sometimes what are $10 and $20 an hour tasks. And then if our goals are to be, oh, I want to get to six figures and beyond, well, you can't do that if you're spending your time doing things that aren't your highest value. So it's the idea of do less, do it better, and earn more because the do less things that you're doing are your highest value, like your 5% like Pareto principle things. Like most of what you're doing is not generating you the results and income that you want. And a small little things like for an actor, what is it? It's being on set, it's being on stage. Those are the two things. And then behind that is your preparation, your rehearsal, your classes, your prep, and then probably one more category of what you would call business and marketing, like how are you getting those gigs and that sort of thing. Everything else is just like noise. So
Right,
doing a time audit to be like, oh crap, I'm I'm barely an actor because I'm not working on the craft, I'm not on set, I'm not like if you actually look at things or you it'll unveil some of those things. And you also mentioned language, all of our beliefs and if you spell belief BELIE, be lives, be lie, right in the middle of a belief is the word
right,
lie. Belief is just the thought that we think over and over and over. We've thought it enough that it just becomes a reality and we take it as fact when really it's not often fact. It's not like the law of gravity. It's like, okay, yeah, gravity. You don't need to believe in gravity or not. It exists on Earth at least. And
right. You can't refute that, but you can't see
yeah,
electricity, right?
yeah, yeah. So we
It's
have all
there.
these things that we ingrain in ourselves because we've heard them or we've thought them enough, and they guide they're basically the perspective and framework and lens that we see the whole world, and we take them as truth when they're not really truth. So things like and how we express our beliefs or how our beliefs form is through language, either the language in our head, just the silent voices saying all the garbage things, or the words that are actually coming out of our mouth, or if you're a writer, how you're writing things. And um, so when you look at that, that's the basis of neuro linguistic programming or NLP
NLP, yeah,
to change behavior and to change your identity in your life. Often it's go to words in your head and words that are coming out. So you mentioned things like I need to, I have to,
have
I
to.
must, I
Right,
should. All of those when you say that as an actor, like I should be doing this, I should like don't should on yourself. We've heard people say that. And all of that forceful language, it feels heavy, it feels negative. But when you change that to I get to, I can, I have
Right.
the opportunity to, all
It's
of
my
that,
privilege.
yeah,
Yeah.
it all releases. So I love that you brought that up. And for anyone who wants to go deeper with any of that, I would encourage you to go to monologueclub.com. We focus obviously on performance and text analysis, preparation, rehearsal, and performance. However, the nature of me, I will weave some of those lessons into some of the training, and we'll do some more podcast episodes. So if you're into that kind of thing, part of the reason this podcast is called Inside the Audition is, yeah, we're analyzing auditions, but it's really inside here, inside our own minds, inside our own brains. So glad you got some value from those, and more to
Oh,
come. So yeah.
huge value because you believe it and the way that you said it. It was you can't ignore it. And maybe a neat segue would be that the way that we talk to ourselves, the way we either accept or control or divert our chattering monkey or whatever you want to call that voice, the way that we talk to ourselves is the way that we self-direct. All
Of
right?
course.
Especially at the microphone since we're sort of talking about voiceover, but in performing in general. Self-talk is the way we self-direct. So if you're not loving yourself, which is hard to do because we like to criticize, but if you're not giving yourself the same respect like if I were working with you, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
well, I'm gonna raise my standards because I know where you are, Joey, right? I've gotta do the same thing for myself.
yeah, and imagine if you audit your self-talk, and if any part of that is harsh and critical and negative and just what you'd categorize in the not helpful category. And also the way that you can tell those is how does it feel? If it feels heavy and shitty, like you right now, I could tell you, think a bunch of thoughts that make you feel like shit, and you could easily do it, and you would spiral down and you'd be like, oh, everything sucks. Versus the other way, I could also say, think positive thoughts, think uplifting thoughts, think abundant thoughts, think empowering thoughts. All of those, you could do that, and it would be an upward spiral real quickly. So if we could,
Endorphins,
yeah,
serotonin, all the same chemicals, right?
yeah,
Whether we're thinking about skiing or we're
right,
actually skiing, our brain is like, "Okay, we're skiing." It doesn't know the difference.
right.
It's with us.
Yeah, so becoming a master of those thoughts as well. And
Love that.
so much of voice is blocks in your body, how you're thinking, and we can get into all that. But what I would like to do though is you have so much voiceover wisdom, Moneen, and you have so much experience. You've coached a ton of people. You've helped them record their demo reels. You've helped them audition for gigs and get those recurring gigs. In the opening, one of the things you mentioned was two things that are incredible about voiceover work is you can do it from anywhere in the world. You're not bound. You don't have to necessarily show up to a studio. There might be some gigs where they want that, but not really anymore. I think you can do it all remotely. And the other thing is, um, like certain acting gigs, you can find recurring things with companies that they book you over and over, and it doesn't take too many of those. You don't need to book a million gigs. You might end up having five clients, and you're easy breezy, lemon squeezy, just chilling. And every once a month, you got to record these, or once a week. So, let's share some voiceover 101 to people. I know you've got a framework that you want to share with people. So can you share those things?
Well, like some fun facts, if you hear many discouraging things like, oh, anyone who goes into voiceover now is committing career suicide, AI is everything. If you hear things like that, or, there's so much competition that there's no room for me, I can't possibly do it. Well, let me just tell you, if you had to guess, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but you're very uh savvy this way.
11.
This one goes to 11.
I'll wait. I'll wait for the question. I'll wait for the question.
Yeah, how many billions, and I did say billions with a B, how many billions do you suppose the voiceover business is in 2025? And this is including
I'm
human
I'm
and AI.
I'm gonna say 150 billion.
Okay, well, I probably should have yeah, well, it's 6,000,000,000,
6 billion. Okay. I've no
slightly over
once it
6,000,000,000.
gets over a billion, it's all the same number to me.
I can't even picture yeah, I just picture
5
stars.
billion is a big that's a big chunk. 6
It
billion, you
is,
said? 6 billion.
it is, and, um what I think is really, really cool to counteract this AI thing is just like with everything, there's always going to be the bottom feeders. There's always going to be the people that need something super, super quick. And so they're going to say, oh, I'm going to get this generic AI voice to talk about the cat doing all kinds of cute cat tricks because nobody cares. They're looking at the cat, and that's fine. AI is there. Or I'm going to have this narration of this tour for the town or something, like something that's
Right.
economical. But the people who want the effect, okay, there's the effect of voiceover, right? There's the real-time experience, and then there's the value added. The value added is humanity, is emotion, is authenticity. And I am very happy to say, even in the world of telephony, which in the past has largely maybe half and half been automated, is now reverting to human beings saying every single prompt in some cases, and certainly in commercial advertising too, because that's the new feature authenticity. Even something like a little bit of a sibilant S or a little bit of a tongue noise or mouth noise. Not that you want imperfect audio, but a little humanity in there, of course, the feeling we can't duplicate, the human voice, what we're thinking and air, that's the strongest alchemic situation there is. What we're thinking, right? That's why you saying, "Why can't you just kick back and enjoy what you do on your island?" Your voice, right? Because it came from a place of truth, so it got planted in. That's value. AI can't do that. In fact, we're wired our hearing is actually wired to resist some of that, and there's a big, big backlash, so I'm really, really happy about that. So, for actors, the good news is explainer videos, that's like the biggest growing market right now, explainer videos. In fact, I just edited one yesterday, okay? And here's the interesting thing. In the '80s, in the '90s, industrials, we called them back then, it wasn't even corporate, but business to business, corporate, national, international, anything that had to do with business or finance, big tech was quite staid, quite right down the middle of the road. And now companies are really coming out with a need and a very specific personality and interpretation for their business, even the most conservative. And not just in their advertising, but in the behind the scenes things too, like explainer videos on TikTok and their website and social media. So there's a ton of work available on every level, local, regional, national, international.
Yes, love that. I want to put a button in, put a pin in some of a little more of the AI talk.
Okay.
100% agree. I think people do really need to realize there is going to be massive shifts, even faster than we expect, and it's going to accelerate faster and faster with AIs in all aspects of life, in all business. And there's going to be a massive shift in wealth. Because of that, 100% agree with what you said. There's a lot of low hanging fruit, things like small businesses where they weren't going to spend money on a voice artist anyways, and this is just a quick voice tool where they can type in the scripts, then it spits something out. Probably some commercial things, and there's going to be um, an increased need for humans to connect to their own authenticity because I feel there will be a pushback when everything's AI. How does anything stand out? While how we can stand out as humans is we have feelings, we have breath, we have divinity, we have hearts, we have something extra that AI does not have. So, and same
Like
thing.
The Coke
Yeah,
experiment. That was garbage, and everybody was like, "Ew, why?"
right. Yeah,
Right?
people don't like it. Yeah. So there's going to be a certain category of humans that like, no, I value an actual human voice, an actual human actor. And there may be a divergence of content where, okay, these are the AI festivals and this is an AI movie, but oh, I want to see this one because it's a real human with a real human tier. And so for both voice actors and stage screen actors, there's going to be demand because of that, because I mean AI is going to be a competitor for certain gigs. There is an increased need for a level of mastery, and I think voice actors can find that, and certainly actors, the ability to act on stage, which I believe is a higher level of mastery. When you're acting on screen for camera, you can cut, you can fade, you can do all kinds of fancy tricks. You don't versus walking out on stage where it's you for 45 minutes or you and your scene partner.
No
So
matter what. Yeah.
the I think the smartest actors right now doubling and tripling down on their own craft to become an even more of a master so that when there is more competition, they rise to the top. And also it's not really going to be AI taking all these jobs. It's going to be humans using the AI and using these tools. So even actors and voice actors be playing with AI technology, be playing with AI tools to see how you can help that improve your life, how you can use tools to maybe take care of things that you don't want to take care of so that you can focus
Sure.
on your highest skills. So it's it's not all doom and gloom, but it's going to change massively. So it's the question is, how are you using AI and how are you differentiating yourself from AI? So thank you for bringing that up because I think it's a conversation. I don't talk about it enough in the podcast. I'll maybe do some special episodes. I use AI every single day. Every single day.
But for business ventures, not for creative ventures so much.
I'm using it for both. I'm using it for business. I'm using it for personal. I am using it for creative. I'm dabbling with it. It's like I don't see it as this big scary thing where we got to draw on a line in sand and you're either human or you use AI. But I don't want to go down the AI wormhole too much.
Right.
Can you let's go back. So I love that we preface that with AI, and because a lot of actors and voice actors may be worried. So if you're worried and you're like, well, why even bother because of AI? No, just know that you got to learn AI, know that you need to be aware of it, and know that you need to hyper focus on your own craft and your own authenticity. But please share more. Let's go.
Yeah, and also there are protections. The NAVA, the National Association of Voice Artists, excellent organization, really involved on every single level, representing and like protections are being made. So there's cloning and things like that. There were
Right.
monstrous fears when it first started to happen to a few really, really big names. That's all being addressed. So, yeah, there's always resources. There's always resources. And so, where did you want to
Let's I know you had like some uh
performance at the
yeah,
microphone?
some training. Yeah, a little bit of training. Take us through a
Okay.
framework.
Yes, in the spirit of you giving me so much. Okay. In fact, I learned that the most amount of time I spend is actually on my craft, and I that was a confidence builder because I'm like, "Okay, well, I like to know that, I like to know where that falls," and that's been a recent adjustment. So, um, so I wanna give back, okay? I have something that I've developed over, 37 years, I suppose, at the microphone. Yeah, I started when I was 19, I'm almost 60. So, I've been doing this a long time, and I've developed something called the voice and vibe system, or vibe and voice if you prefer, but it's really the emotions, it's everything that you're talking about being truly aware of what you're thinking because thoughts are things and what you're feeling. And just like radio stations, you emit frequencies. So if you don't have that clear at the microphone, we're going to hear it. So I'm going to give you my three universals. Okay. This is a lot of ass kicking, a lot of sweat, a lot of love goes into these. But I think that you'll agree that they're universally true, and they help create singularity in thought when one is overwhelmed. The first one is the greater before the lesser. The greater is your attitude or your emotion, whatever that may be, and everything else is the lesser. Okay? So, not to be, you know, dismissive during a heavy topic, but when we signed on, I was like, "Okay, my intention is to really give some value today." So, I kept my shoes and my bra on, okay? Most
Thank
of the
you.
time in the studio, I do not have either on, but this makes me feel put together, okay? Now that is part of the emotion, that's my intention. You call it whatever personally feels good to you, but everything else is the lesser, right?
Right.
It's just what I wanna get and give out of this moment for all of us. For those of you listening, for those of you watching right now in this moment too. It's not by accident. It's not
Right.
by accident, right?
Which
Okay,
is the key to life and as an actor, whether it's voice or in person, it's like, what's your intention? What do you want? What's your desire? What's your motivation? What are you fighting for? All of those things. And if you don't know that, what are you doing? You're just kind of spinning around being a half a human.
right. You gotta be permeable. It's gotta come out, it's gotta come in. All right? So that was number 1. The greater before the lesser.
Greater before the lesser.
Yeah, the greater is your attitude. Everything else is the lesser. Okay? Number 2. Where is the love? Might seem a little like, "Ooh, where is the love, man?" It might seem a little hippy groovy. It's not, it's not. It's just the strongest emotion we have. We were talking earlier about emotions, and really, to me, there's love and fear. Fear is the absence of love. And it's not easy to just, well, just feel more, just love more. I I don't mean to be flippant about it, but if anyone who's overwrought can just spend a little bit of time, and I've lived in cities too, you don't have to be on an island, but anywhere, just be alone in nature with yourself. Allow your thoughts to come and go. We're so overwhelmed that stopping and breathing deeply for 15 seconds is like a crazy thing. You see how I just slowed down my rate of speech?
Me too. It's so rare in 2025. Like, if you actually think, how much time do you spend in stillness and in silence? And it's those two states where, like, the universe, source, God, divine, higher power, whatever you want to call that. And I think we all know it's there. Like, I don't think anyone would argue that love is a thing and that we're somehow connected in a weird way that we don't really fully understand. But if there's a wormhole to that or a hack to get it, it's breathe, be still, and be silent, and magic happens.
Amen. Right on. Whatever you believe in, that's exactly it. So where is the love? And if I'm not feeling it, if I'm not if it's elusive, then just take a moment to find it, to see what's in the way. It's probably gonna be simpler than you think if you're just honest, and without guilt, without judgment. We don't judge characters. Don't judge ourselves, right? We embrace characters in all their shades. Same for us. Okay, so we covered 1. We covered
Greater before the lesser.
greater before the lesser. Where
Where's
is
the
the
love?
love? Yes. And, uh, number 3 is simplified interior over exterior. So in voiceover, if you're given the choice to, um, decide your character, decide your read, let's say it's, an endorsement type of situation. So you're speaking in first person and you're owning that character. You're really kind of creating a character and a personality on the spot, okay? You're gonna make choices that are internal rather than the myriad external choices there are, like who is the last spokesperson? What advertising agency is handling this? Is this nationwide or is it just in the Northeast? Blah, 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 blah. You can't think about any of that shit. You just have to think about, what do I feel? Oh, I see a lot of K words. Okay, I love K words. They're funny. Whatever. And, lean into the action word, because we're making decisions maybe sometimes in a minute or two if it's a cold read, if it's on the spot. Happens less and less, but you might as well be prepared for it, okay? And then make those quick decisions. Like I said, become the noun, lean into the verb. Okay, make some quick decisions. And then you're starting with strong decisions. They're like, oh, we don't have to worry about this lady. She's going to lead us somewhere. Or we want to send her in this direction or that direction. And that is an episodic explanation of interior over exterior. But also in reacting situations, and, like, I can say this with all honesty because you've seen me be a big fat baby. You've seen me be rejected in real life, and you called my attention to it and got me out of it, okay? So I am with full belief saying you just can't take things personally, okay? And if you're having a strong reaction to anyone or anything, there's something in you that's hitting on some truth. So just sit with that for a minute. That's also an extension of interior over exterior.
Love
Control you
that.
control your nervous system, know your nervous system, as Tom Todoroff likes to say, but, just work with it. And how do you do that? Getting back to, you know, 10 seconds of breathing, 10
Beautiful.
seconds of silence. Yeah, so that's the 3 universals. And I find that that's true in the microcosm and the macrocosm, performing at the mic on stage, on camera, but also in life.
Yeah. Everything is everything. How you do anything is how you do everything, and especially in acting, it's it's all it's all of it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Now,
Wow, that was a lot. Was
to
that yeah.
deliver on the promise of this episode at the beginning, I said the number one marketing tool that can unlock a whole new world of work and revenue and income for an actor is having a professional voice demo. I know you've worked with tons of actors, coaching them and actually helping them produce their demo reels. Do you want to talk a little bit about the importance of a demo in film acting and stage acting? It's what do you got? You got your headshot and you got your demo reel to show agents, to show casting, like some proof here. This is me. In the voice world, you don't need the headshot, but you do need a voice demo. So let's talk about the importance of that, maybe some do's and don'ts, and if you want to share anything about how you help actors put those together.
Yeah, yeah, I find it really, really super personal. So just the way we are very careful in choosing monologues, trying them on, do they fit us? What are we learning? What are we which you're helpful with during Monologue of the Month Club. And whatever we're creating for our acting reel or our sizzle reel, it's the same thing with your audio reel. And this is what I love and why I no longer work for production houses or do anything in mass. I work one-on-one with people, and it's just part of what I do, so I have to really love it, and I have to believe in the talent, but fortunately, it's just that happens. So, I'll give you an example of this gentleman, Ryan Snyder. So, he's an actor, and we had to create content so he could show his comedic skills, so he could show his flamboyance, his color, right? Like, there just wasn't anything out there, he wasn't an everyday guy, and he, is proudly gay and a little bit of representational gentleman and active in his community, and so, we just took the temperature on how much do you wanna ride that? And just getting to know him, and that's why I really do dig my coaching process because it's intimate, it's one-on-one, and we uncover a lot of things in the discovery of what application, what content, it all gets curated the more I get to know you. So he ended up with a very micro niche, very specific demo, and his agent, it's so cool because he was recording in a New York City, studio, and he was in to do a job the day before, so we got to have a big overnight in New York and be like, "Okay, I'm working and I'm going for another stream of, work." And I helped him create a brand kit too, and this guy is like 3 weeks ago, he was on the set for a Netflix series. I'm not quite sure. I'm not at liberty at all the details, and he hasn't told me, but he's so busy all the time. And, "Hey, can you help me edit this narration?" And boom, 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 boom. So, when he's, not on the road, not auditioning, not filming, you know, these voiceover gigs come in, and he can do them right at home. And he has really great equipment. These days you really need an XLR microphone, which is, analog to digital rather than a USB microphone, which is digital, digital. And that's the cool thing about more people working from home is that the people who bought like $100, no offense, but it's great for podcasting, but the people who bought like $100 like snowball microphone, like, "Hey, I'm a professional broadcaster." That's great for some applications, but not for audio that's gonna be mastered and run on a TV or radio station. So, I forgot what I was talking about really.
We're talking on demos. This is great.
Oh,
I
yeah,
would
Ryan. So Ryan's doing great. Yeah. And regular. So, okay, I know I'm gonna do these narrations once a month. Okay, that I can put into my training, which is what he did. Um, was that a good example? Was I
That was,
specific enough?
that's fantastic. I'm actually looking at one of your like promotional flyers for some of your services, and Ryan Snyder says, "To get ahead, you must train with the best, and you are the best, Moneen. It was easy for me to invest in a 2-year program. I know you got my back, you on performance, production, positioning." And he says, "I love my demo and I love my brand kit." So that's beautiful. With it, we're not going to get into the all the details of this, but when someone works with you one on one on your demo reel creation, your business starter creation. Do you want to share what you get here? I've got it in front of me. I can share it, or if you want to talk about like when someone does work with you, what is that experience? What
Sure.
is the outcome of that?
Sure, and I'll work to be streamlined and not be tangential and just slap me on back
It
if
all works. We got no
but
deadline. Yeah, this is all super valuable, and I know that if you're listening to this right now as a um, what it's funny, we say voice actor, but we don't say body actor. Like, what are you? You're a regular actor if you're not a voice actor.
right.
I mean, I guess I'll say stage and screen, but if you're a stage and screen actor and you're not in the world of voice, there's a massive opportunity for you. And if you're a voice actor listening to this right now, you're going to gain tips and and training from Moneen that'll help advance your career and help you make more money. So this is all super valuable. But so share what people get in that in any of your packages or when you're working one-on-one with Moneen.
Sure, sure. So we start with a talent questionnaire, which is something that I've, created over the years just as a quicker way to get, um, through to some pivotal moments with talent, and it's just great because you discover so many things and a talent discovers so many things about themselves that they might have had buried. So, it's really just like your acting reel is gonna show the best of who you are and all those different specific micro niches, this is what the audio demo should be. I like I would like to think that most of the demos that I produce are a bit of an autobiography of the talent, especially because I work with discovering emerging talents. Not that I haven't done demos for Salty Dogs because I have, but I've probably flipped them on their ear a little bit, okay? And created a different iteration of them. But it's super, super fun because you're not limited to anything. It's really a marriage of the personality, persona, and marketability. And because there are so many So many different applications. There's so many things like actors are uniquely qualified to do things like live announce, right? That's a tough gig. You have to like ad lib, you have to like think off your cuff, and that's a great, great thing for actors to get into. And we start with the talent questionnaire and trying on different applications. Okay, well, I didn't think I could do medical narration, but it pays more. It pays about 15% more than regular narrations if you can wrap yourself around fluticasone salmeterol and it gives you a thrill, then go for it. Okay? Um, uh, so we try on all those different applications, but no matter what education you get on certain, um, applications, and I do a little market research for you too, to show you, okay, what's trending and where you fit into all of this, okay? And if it's like Black luxury, then we're gonna have really specific Black luxury items for you that are gonna make you unforgettable, undeniable, and it's gonna be different from everyone. Like I said, in the studio, 13 to 74, age 13 to 74. So
Yeah,
it takes time and it takes love, and that's why it's not a mass production. By the end of our coaching, the talent will have rated each script that we've narrowed it down to on a scale from 1 to 10. Everything has to be a 10. Everything has to be a 10, and we don't stop until that's achieved. And it's a beautiful thing because just like magical, weird stuff happens all the time. I'm gonna stop myself from telling stories about that, but it's just really cool. Like, how did you know my first car was a Mustang? How did you know, like,
gotcha.
just all kinds of cool stuff. I mean, there's certain things I'm privy to, but certain things are just like, ooh, kismet.
I love that.
And then because we're prepared, it's not like a demo session where you go into a studio and you're exhausted 3 and 4 hours trying to get it right. This is all content that's part of you that we've worked on, that you're comfortable with, and whether you're recording here or remotely, I'm gonna direct the session, so you're not gonna be alone. And, I direct very casually. I don't keep track of takes. I know what's going on here, so I make my notes, but I don't slate, I don't keep track of takes, so talent isn't thinking about, "Oh my god, this took me 7 fi Lexus, take 7." Like, there's nothing worse. It's just a conversation like this with a few pauses, and we chat about it before we roll into it. There's a whole little system, you
I love
know,
that.
and it's relaxed, and it works. It works. I'm really proud of the people that I work with. Yeah.
That's beautiful. And I
Oh,
want to just
and you get a now and next action item too. I should mention that too, Joey.
sure. Yeah,
You
and
know
positioning statement, you can speak on that as well.
Exactly, it comes from my radio background. When I'm talking about priority customers, I say P1, like your priority 1 listeners. I do think a little bit like a radio programmer, and so in order to have repeatable phrases about you, so you can sum up what your style is, what your expertise is, what the crossover may be. Are you a tech guy who sounds like a techie nerd and also writes code? You put whatever you have together. And I offer 3 positioning statements that, the talent reads and like they're going to be attracted to one. I generally do 2 extremes and one that's kind of like in the middle. Sometimes the extremes get picked and I'm psyched, but oftentimes, it's the median one. So you have a positioning statement. You know how to talk about yourself and it builds confidence when you start off with your, warm calls. That's generally the first marketing move to make is start with warm calls, people that you know so you gain confidence and someone's gonna say, "Hey, I didn't know you were doing that. That's great. I know a guy who owns 3 shoe stores. He's looking for somebody to do his ads. I'll send you to him." You just start with warm stuff. And in addition to that, there's certain places to be online that don't cost you anything, or you can post your tracks. And that's another thing, Joey. You get 2 audio products. When I work, you get a compilation, 60 seconds, around 60 seconds. So it's going to go to any server. It's going to make agents and auditors really happy. to listen to your demo. They're going to get a super flavor in 60 seconds. And then you get all of those produced individual tracks. So when you go and post to a place like Voquent, okay, that's what they're asking for. And those descriptives are coming from the people who are booking the gigs. For God's sakes, don't use your descriptions from like a group that you've had somewhere in voiceover. Like, they say I sound warm and friendly. They say I'm quirky. Don't do that. Don't do that. You need to be specific with your voice. And Voquent is a great place to start that.
You've touched on it a little bit by mentioning different types of voice work. I don't think actors or people in general realize how much work and this $6 billion industry is there. I think maybe some people think animation, of course they think commercials, maybe some narration of audiobooks, but can you just quickly run down all the different types of work where people could be making money as a voiceover artist?
Oh my God. I don't know that I could run them down really.
Well, throw out as many as you can think of.
But yeah, well, when we were just talking, I mentioned live announce. Okay. So that's, on location or, via being plugged in. Okay. There's broadcast. There's there's broadcast on every kind of level. And, if you want to get an idea, if you want to get an idea for rates, the GVAA, it's the global, let me look and see what the acronym is. It's the Global Voice Acting Academy. GVAA is their URL. And they have the non-union rates. And you'll see all of the stuff that's there. Explainer videos, narrators within TV. Look at like Netflix productions, CBS productions. They're actually airing things that are not being produced in the big studios or even their studios sometimes. Sometimes they're going to another level down. And so if you are interested in animation and cartoons and webtoons, don't think, "Oh my God, I've got to move to LA. I've got to be in Studio City." No, 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 no. If you want Disney, yeah. But if you just want to do like goofball voices, there's all kinds of games being developed, right? And you get in on the ground floor. One of my clients, and I did 2 demos for commercial and animation because she just had all these crazy voices. We had so much fun putting it together. The writer listened to her demo and turned like what was just a handful of lines into 4 pages of dialogue. And it was so fun to do because there's all these little actions that might happen and you have to act all of them really, really quickly. You have to really have chops for that. There's telephony, which interestingly enough, as I kind of lightly touched on earlier, used to be kind of animated, like natural language applications and auto attendant and messages on hold and all that kind of stuff. It's coming back. People want live stuff. I do a lot of that. It's not glamour work, but it's regular and it's steady. And
Our options have changed. Please listen
exactly.
to the menu carefully as our options have changed. Yeah, so for those that are listening, telephony is like answering machine, like a directory. Press one for this, press two for that.
Yeah, auto attendant stuff, all that kind of stuff. And, web narrations and e-learning is a huge thing. E-learning is massive. Audiobooks are massive and they're getting shorter. Like, ADX, Audible records all their books on ADX. And like probably the best beginning move of all time is to start on ADX. Like if you don't have a demo and you just want to be like, I wonder what this feels like. You have to be careful. It's really low paying. It's a really, but it's training. Like if you're working on editing and you want to just try it on for size. That's not for money making. It's just for, can I do this?
Get
And
some
you will
reps
make
in.
some money. Yeah.
Cool. Well, and if you're listening to this right now and you're not excited about voice work, excited to get your demo reel, then I don't know what you've been listening to because this has been so great, Moneen. I love your energy. We love your vibe. You're so giving with your heart. I think that's one of the reasons that I love you is you're very heart focused and heart forward, helping people get out of their head and into their heart and into their body and into their breath. So here's the deal for our listeners. If you are listening to this right now, we're going to do a few things with Moneen. As I mentioned, she is one of our session directors for on-camera audition self-tape help. So you can book her that way. But as she's explained, she's got a coaching program where she'll help you build your professional voice demo reel step by step and do it in a very personal way. And because she's part of our AAC family here at Actors Audition Club and the Monologue of the Month Club, uh, she's also going to do a special workshop. Do you want to talk a little bit about that workshop and what that'll offer for people?
Yeah, yeah. So if anybody watching or listening is like, I want to like put my toe in a little bit further, we'll have a great opportunity where I'll do a warm up. I'll, warm up whomever is there to enjoy it. Okay. So you'll learn a little bit about breath, little articulator, little resonator warm up that you can use in your acting world and in voiceover. And then we'll have a variety of scripts, all these things that we were talking about, so you can see what it looks like. And there might be one thing or another that you might be attracted to, and we'll just let people play. I'll offer up some direction and some thought, and you can ask me anything you want, and we'll just hang out and see what happens.
Beautiful. So here's how we're going to do this. We haven't set the date yet. We got to look at Moneen's schedule and my schedule. We will be sending out emails to our members at Actors Audition Club and inside the Monologue of the Month Club. But if you're not in those, you may miss that. So what I would suggest you do is if you go to Instagram, I'm at Joey Freddie Larson, and just say Mo Vibe, M-O for Moneen and Vibe, V-I-B-E. So say Mo Vibe in the DMs, and or you could email hello@actorsauditionclub.com. Let us know. We'll put you on the priority list to attend that workshop. Is that going to be a free workshop?
Oh, yeah, yeah, it's just for the
That's a free workshop.
community
Incredible.
and
Incredible. Thank
just,
you. Very generous.
if you think, "Oh, I don't know, I'm not really a strong reader," or, "I spent some years in New Jersey and I don't know about this accent." Like, whatever, if you have hesitations, chances are we'll blow that hesitation right
Okay.
away.
So send me a DM that just says the word Mo Vibe, or again, email hello@actorsauditionclub.com. And what we will do is we'll put you on the priority list. We'll make sure you get the emails for when that live workshop is happening. That's a virtual workshop. You can connect with Moneen from anywhere in the world. Doesn't matter where you're listening to. If by chance you're listening to this way in the future and it's 2045 and the robots have taken over, uh,
Are we not
then
men?
then
You are Devo.
still drop that Mo Vibe in there because this will be the first of hopefully many, and we might have a situation where we can, if you've missed the live workshop, we could send you the replay. So whenever you're listening to this, just if you DM me on Instagram at Joey Freddie Larson, DM me the word Mo Vibe. We'll make sure to connect you with Mo and Moneen here, some of her trainings. And on top of that, for those of you who are like, I already know this is something I've been putting off forever. I've been wanting to get my demo reel created. I know that there's an opportunity for it to make more money as a voice actor. Moneen also has those full demo reel packages. And I know what she has said is as an AAC or Monologue of the Month Club member, you will get some bonuses, some extra training. I'm not going to go into all that, but if you go to getmovibe.com, that's GETMOVIBE, getmovibe.com. You can connect with Moneen. She can let you know about all the services that she has available to help coach you to that killer demo reel that'll get you heard, that'll get you these voice gigs and get you paid. Go to getmovibe.com. Make sure to mention that you heard her on Inside the Audition, or you're a member of Actors Audition Club or the Monologue of the Month Club, for some of those extra bonuses. So thank you for doing that, Moneen. That's exciting.
My
And
pleasure.
stay tuned. And while we're talking about being heard, I'll also talk about getting seen here at the Monologue of the Month Club. Don't forget, we have our regular monthly monologue showcase coming up where you need to submit a 60 to 90 second monologue that will go into our showcase. You'll get professional coaching and feedback on that monologue, as well as the opportunity to win some prizes, some free coaching sessions, and some other fun prizes, and get that feedback in real time. And also beyond that individual showcase in September, if you want more consistent training, more accountability in between your auditions, you can join us inside the Monologue of the Month Club. Go to monologueclub.com. Once again, that's monologueclub.com. It's the number one way to sharpen your craft in between auditions, build a portfolio of lead role performances month after month that you can showcase to agents, to casting. You can share it on your social to start attracting those lead roles rather than making the mistake. What a lot of actors are doing is they're only waiting for auditions, and auditions aren't where you grow. Auditions are where you demonstrate what you've already done to build yourself up as a lead actor. So really, it's what are you doing in between to create those lead role opportunities. So again, go to Monologue of the Month Club. And for those of you who, if you're already auditioning and you just want audition help, of course, we do one-on-one audition coaching. You can book those sessions anywhere in the world at actorsauditionclub.com. Quick to end this. Quick little, how about a little rapid fire round here? Best
Okay.
voiceover warm up. What's a good voiceover warm up?
11 benevolent elephants. Okay, high pitch, right?
11 benevolent elephants.
11 benevolent elephants. Good blood, bad blood.
Good blood, bad blood.
Very good.
11 benevolent elephants. Good blood, bad blood. I guess I'm
Actually,
right.
from Mary Jo Negro. That it came from Mary Jo Negro.
Love it.
Way babe.
Biggest myth about voice acting.
That it's about your voice. "Hey, you've got a really great voice. You should be in voiceover." It's not about your voice. It's about what you feel and can think and communicate with your voice. It's your emotion, it's your ability to emote. It's not about your voice.
Funniest slash weirdest session experience without naming
Um,
names.
um It wasn't a voiceover session, it was a morning show. I think you know that I enjoyed, co-hosting a morning show with Tom Bergeron, at, some point in the '90s. Anyway, there was a penguin in the studio,
A
and
penguin?
a penguin, yes, because the Boston Aquarium was there to promote something, and we were talking about it, and I was live and speaking, and the penguin gave me a hickey. So that was kind of like a
Oh,
joke for a while that I had a penguin hickey on my knee.
first
I
base with the
That's kind
penguin.
of, like, distasteful to say now, isn't it? Well, you said speed round, I didn't think about it.
Love it. And one piece of advice you'd give every actor starting out in voiceover.
To do something, to take action, to don't do research, don't wonder and pick and choose all over the place and try and put it together yourself. Just like with everything, you need someone who's done it before. You need somebody to lead the way. You need somebody to save you time and money because that person has been through it before. So take action and trust your instincts. If somebody feels like a charlatan and they're just pushing you into something and promising and guaranteeing, that's maybe someone you don't want to work with.
Red flag. I love that you
Exactly.
said actions because here's your final action step for listeners today is number one is again DM Mo Vibe, or you can email us hello at actorsauditionclub.com, say Mo Vibe or voiceover, and we'll connect you with that free workshop with Moneen. And if by chance you missed it, we'll connect you with the replay or we'll let you know when the next one is. So this isn't time bound, just you want to do more voiceover and you want to work with Moneen, then send us Mo Vibe on Instagram or email us. Also, again, as I mentioned, you're already gung ho and you know you need it, then just jump right to getmovibe.com, reach out to Moneen, let her know that you want the business starter demo reel program where she'll do those the one-on-one sessions with you to help you discover who you are as an actor and build that authentic demo reel that you can then use to get immediate results and to start getting gigs. You can also sign up for the Monologue of the Month Club at monologueclub.com, or you can book a audition coaching session at actorsauditionclub.com. So many actions. They call
You know,
these
full service,
they
right?
call these CTAs, call to action. So my call to the listeners and the viewers is to take action. So many ways that we can help you. We're here for you. Don't just wait for auditions. Create powerful performances and showcase them now. This has been Inside the Audition. Of course, you can go to insidetheaudition.com, and you can look at past episodes. And you can also, if you feel that you're a mover and a shaker in the industry, you want to be featured on an episode, there's a little box on there to be featured. I want to thank you again, Moneen. This has been incredible. Love you. I love that you're
My
connected with
pleasure.
Actors Audition Club.
I
Thank
love
you
you
for
and what you
sharing your
do.
yeah, thank you for sharing your expertise. Looking forward to more. Aside from getmovibe.com, is there any other way that's the best way for people to reach out to you?
Yeah, you can also visit studiogbythesea.com and see some pictures of what it's like here. And yeah, I've got a live event coming up in October 11th. So if you're in Boston, Portland, Providence, the Seacoast, New Hampshire, or Maine, anywhere in New England, come visit.
Studio G, the letter G, by the sea, SEA, by the water sea, not the letter C.
Exactly.
We'll,
studiogbythesea.com.
we'll link those up in the show notes as well. Thank you guys so much for listening to Inside the Audition. And again, remember that don't wait. The word is act. You're an actor, not a waiter. It's funny how a lot of actors are waiters in between their acting gigs, but don't wait. Take action, decide what you want, and get out there and fight for it. So thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time on Inside the Audition.